Okay, today is March 19th, 2017, and right now at 9:15 p.m. we have a temperature of 59 degrees in the foothills. We have a relative humidity of 73%. That's up quite a bit. Earlier today it was around 24%, 23, 24%. Earlier in the day, we've got a barometer that's up at 30.02 inches, and the dew point is 50 degrees. And today we had heavy aerosol chemtrail spraying once again as this flow pattern here moves into this moisture field moves into California. Right now we're looking at the visible light map for the southwest, and the reason we're looking at this is because we have a thunderstorm, a group of thunderstorms right down here, which are being superheated. We can see the blast pattern out of the east side. You can see that blast, that shock wave right up here, moving out at a very high rate of speed. And also down here, you see that blast pattern, that circular blast pattern right there, and that shoots out from the center. This is where they're targeting it, right where the pen tip is. All right, let's look at this in the IR map, the infrared map. We can see the same feature. These shock waves. This is superheated water vapor shooting out of the center of that thunderstorm. We see a hole develop right there, right there. Looks like they hit it right in this area. You can see all that superheated water vapor shooting out. We can see the color change. Starts out as a very light red, sort of in this area right here, and a lot of yellow. And of course, after they hit it, the entire storm diminishes into this green. So they are superheating and destroying this thunderstorm as it moves up towards New Mexico right here. This is Arizona, and we got New Mexico. So this is going to move in to the United States. Let's look at the water vapor map. We don't see a whole lot of detail here other than the color change, the deep blue, indicating the depth of that water vapor there, right here on the scale. And of course, we can see the moisture moving right into California. And of course, there's no official rain forecast for today, but with this type of a pattern, we should be having rain, of course. It's a lot of moisture moving in. If we look at the infrared map, you can see all that area of this moisture field moving in. And LA is right here in this area, Los Angeles. And there's actually nothing on the Doppler map for LA. Let's refresh that. We'll come back to that in just a second. Basically, there's no rain in Southern California with this pattern, which means that there is a lot of heavy chemtrail aerosol spraying all up and down the entire California coast. Let's go ahead and look at that Doppler map. We can see that there is some rain right here offshore, but as this moves in, we'll probably see those NexRad transmitters. There's one here at just right near Vandenberg Air Force Base right there. And then we've got a couple, there's a few out here. There's one near Edwards Air Force Base. There's one at the Marine Corps Air Station down here near, I think it's Yuma, right down near the Arizona border, right somewhere down here. And they're all over the place up and down the coast. So we do have rain moving in, but of course this is all being sprayed over. If we look at the northern area of California, they do have some rain up in the northern counties. And if we zoom in, it doesn't look like they're breaking it up. Well, actually, we do see an area here that's been chopped up by a transmitter. There's some straight edges. Yeah, this is some manipulation here. And also right up here near McKinleyville. Okay, so essentially there's no rain in central and southern California at the present time. We go back again and look at this pattern. That makes no sense. The only thing that's stopping this rain, of course, is the aerosols being sprayed. That's preventing the lift in the atmosphere. Those chemical desiccants absorb water vapor, and that's why we had the very low humidity this morning, around 23 to 24, 25%. That's very low when you have a pattern like this. Okay, let's also look. Once again, we have this thunderstorm being superheated with microwave energy right here. Take a look at this in the visible light map. We can see all that activity just south of these two states here, Arizona and New Mexico. Let's go ahead and look at the pressure maps. We can see the 500 millibar right here. We have a lot of squiggly lines at the 500 millibar level. We can see that pretty good right here in this area. This is where that thunderstorm is. We've got some squiggly lines right down here. But the telltale is the 300 millibar map. This is 30,000 feet. Now look at here, right where this thunderstorm is. Look at these squiggly lines that are returning varying degrees of high and low pressure, as that area was targeted with probably microwave. This could be also laser doing this, but at any rate, the effect is the same. We have superheated water vapor that disrupts and destroys the organization of that thunderstorm. And of course, these isobars are all squiggly because there's varying degrees of high and low pressure from the transmitter generating that instantaneous high pressure. So that's what we're seeing here. All right, let's go back to these maps again. And let's go to the big map. This is the Northeast Pacific water vapor loop. We can see that jet stream flow here is being disrupted. We've got a transmitter right here, which is affecting not only the jet stream moisture field, chopping that up, but look at this right angle here that has appeared on the center of this gale force system right here. We also have a transmitter generated channel all through here, which is separating this moisture field from the jet stream flow. This is all walling up and mushrooming into that high that's been installed right here. And of course, we have a pretty good run angle right there. That is not Mother Nature, folks. That's a transmitter. Let's take a look right here. There's actually clockwise rotation right there, which this entire area should be spinning counterclockwise. Okay, let's look at the western U.S. water vapor map. We can get a better look at this right here. That right angle forming, that's where the transmitter is leaving its imprint. They're actually focusing that RF power right here, right there. But right here, just right over here, we have actually some clockwise rotation right up in this area. And as I say, this entire area should be spinning counterclockwise. So the jet stream flow is mushrooming into this area of high pressure. This is being sprayed over with chemtrails. There's no rain in the state south of San Francisco. And we have this right angle. This is all going to be deflected. Let's look at the IR map. And we can see that that channel, that barrier, that blockade that's been engineered, separating this moisture field here, which should be dumping a lot of rain. And it is dumping rain up in Northern California. So the obvious question is, well, why is it not dumping rain down here in Southern California? And that's because of the heavy chemtrail spraying, once again. So this has nothing to do with solar radiation management or any kind of anything to do with solar radiation. This is purely just a desiccant, and they're spraying these at night too, by the way. These chemtrails are sprayed at night. So again, the solar radiation management argument doesn't hold any water because the obvious question is why are they spraying at night? Well, they're spraying because it has nothing to do with solar radiation management, number one. Okay, now here's the IR map for the the Northeast Pacific. We can see that blockade that's been built in here. We have a disruption of the jet stream that's showing up right here in this area. If we go back to the water vapor map, we can see that big hole that's been generated from that transmitter, which is disrupting this jet stream flow, evaporating all that water vapor. All right, so let's take a look quickly at the, this is the SSEC water vapor map. And we can see that right angle right here. These always appear on the centers of developing low pressure systems, these right angles. And we can see that little spiral trying to rebuild right there where the tip of the pen is. So this thing is trying to rebuild, but they've got heat on it, and that is, of course, counteracting. We can see that clockwise rotation actually better right here. You can actually see the clouds right here going around the other direction right here. And there's a right angle right there. So they're applying some power in this area. You can see that right angle right there. And of course, this one. And we have some vortexes spinning here counterclockwise within this quagmire of low pressure and high pressure. This is the jet stream walling up into that engineered blockade. Okay, now here's the MODIS Today map. The skies were a mess again today. If we pan offshore, we can see all the aerosol activity. There's really not any real clouds in the skies. However, we can see all these streaks. They're all over the place. Let's look quickly at some pictures that I took today. By the way, I found a jet. I discovered a jet that was an Air Canada Rouge jet that actually was dumping chemtrails over Pasadena right near JPL, which is in La Cañada. And we watched this jet come from quite a ways away, and it made a turn, about a 15-degree turn to the north, which we can see that little bend right there. So we had access to a computer. We went in there, and sure enough, we found that this is an Air Canada with a tail number, a registration number. I'll put this over here so we can see it. Right here is the registration number. Right here is C-GHPE, flying at 36,000 feet, flying from Puerto Vallarta to Vancouver. This was on Friday. So Air Canada is involved in spraying these chemtrails, and this is the first time that I've seen a commercial jet spraying. First time. Okay, so I wanted to report that. Air Canada Rouge. This is a 767, and that's a wide body, so they've got some room in the belly of that plane to store some tanks. All right, let's look at some pictures here real quick, and then we'll call it a day. This is the skies over Los Angeles. Today we can see these storm clouds, some very odd features on these storm clouds. It looked like these were being hit with microwave as well because of the way they were pancaking. Here we have a shot looking west. See a streak right here. And a lot of weather moving in off the west coast, all being hit. Look at here, right here. Look at this thing. It's pancaked all through here over these mountains. These are about 6,000-foot mountains right here. All right. And look at the, these have all been targeted. Just like the that thunderstorm we looked at the very beginning, which is right here. We'll just leave it right here, and we'll do another update tomorrow with that blast pattern. Right here, right there. Okay, that's it.